obviously an inconsistent night for us. You know, our first and third quarters were pretty decent defensive quarters, but the other two were very poor, and so you know, we just paid a price. You know, the game was back and forth early, and then they just got a little bit of separation, and it's just we just couldn't maintain a compete level that was high enough.
You guys' first time under 100 scored this season. Did you notice something they were doing defensively that was giving you guys trouble?
They're playing hard.
They also do well.
I don't care about 100 points. Okay, so that doesn't matter. What matters is our spirit and, you know, just learning, you know, how you have to compete against these teams that are desperate, you know. So give Chicago a lot of credit. You know, they were very determined. You know, Caruso's a major force in the game. They got a bunch of other guys that play hard, and we allowed them to get going.
They do well to keep other teams out of the paint, and you guys love to play paint too great, as you guys say. What do they do so well to keep you out of there, and what can you do when a team is trying so hard to prevent you from getting to where you want to be?
Get more stops. It's hard to keep a team out of the paint in transition. I mean, that's a simple answer, but no, listen, paint points have been hard to come by against them all year long. So this is not anything different. But in the third quarter, when we got some traction, it was happening because, you know, our intensity level defensively picked up, and, you know, we were able to get downhill and get the ball in transition. So, you know, we got to get home, get ready for the next one.
I mean, I guess, is there any area, particularly in the second and fourth, where you saw the intensity breakdown? Was there one kind of area of defense that stood out?
Well, what happened was that throughout the game, in the first period, we made 2 or 3 minor mistakes, you know, that are system mistakes, and 2 of those plays cost us 3-point shots. So there's 6 points on 2 possessions. And there was a third one that allowed a layup. It was a miscommunication. So, you know, right there, you've got 8 points, and we're down 4 at the end of the first quarter. So, look, there's no guarantee you're going to get 3 stops in that situation, but you got a good chance maybe to limit them to a couple of 2s instead of 2 3s and a 2. You know, it's just everything comes down to a fight for inches, you know, on the court, and we didn't do a good enough job in that area.
You know, obviously they're good defenders. You know, Caruso, DeSumo, they do some good things defensively. We just weren't able to make shots. I feel like. I mean, I'll go back and watch it, but just felt like we didn't make a lot of shots. Didn't play a lot in transition. You know, they kind of dictated the pace tonight. So we just got to do a better job against top so we can run. And I feel like we missed shots. Like overall, like I don't know if one person here would tell you they had a good game tonight. So, I mean,
I feel like they're, you know, a better team than their record shows, but I thought we just missed some shots.
You have covered some of this in that answer just now, but they give up the fewest points in the paint of anybody in the league. Is it, you know, the high big, the guy right in the gap? Like, what do they do that makes it so hard for you guys? Because you guys love getting in there.
Yeah, I think Caruso just, you know, his point of attack. He's obviously an elite defender. Vucevic is up at the level. I think they just do a great job of rotating on the backside. They really pack the paint. So, like, the one game we did beat them, we just made shots. You know, like I think you got to make shots really to beat them. So they pack the paint and, you know, kind of make you play spaced out. And I feel like if we made some shots, that would have opened everything up for us today. So I don't think we did that.
How difficult can 3 and 4 nights in of a 5-game road trip be for a team at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we got figured out by now. You know what I mean? We got 8 games left. So, you know, I think that for us to get to where we want to get to, you know, we got to take care of these games the right way. You know, obviously everybody knows where the standings are right now, how close it is, and how every game matters right now. So it's obviously frustrating, I think, for us as a group. But, you know, I think that, you know, we can't dwindle on it. Like, got to learn from it, watch the film, learn from it, and be ready to go at home against the Lakers.
Rick's talked about your physicality on defense being better even this month, but tonight he thought you guys didn't have it as a team. When it's not there, how quickly do you notice, and how can you kind of get that spirit up on that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they just made a lot of shots. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the games we played them, they made a lot of shots. Like, kudos to them as a team. I think we do a better job of, finishing possessions. I feel like they got a lot of offensive rebounds that kind of set the tone right there. Like, I think that comes from, like, a point of physicality is just giving up one shot and kind of moving on from there. So I thought they got a lot of offensive rebounds, allowed them to get to, second, third chance opportunities, and then they start making shots. And you know how the NBA works. The guys see a shot go in, they start to feel good, and I think that's just where we got to.
I'm not really sure. I think getting stops and not fouling allows us to get into transition a little bit more and gets them a little bit looser on the defensive side of the ball. I think ball movement, extra cuts, extra drives, playing out the full clock maybe sometimes. Yeah, I think we just didn't have necessarily a great rhythm in that to start the game. We had it at some points, but couldn't sustain it.
I guess what makes them as good as they are at it? I mean, I think they lead the league in fewest points allowed. Just, it seemed like they were able to create a pretty good ball. What makes them good at what they do?
It's the way they play their concepts. They come off the ball screen, they have the big high up the touch, and they have the first guy in the gap pretty heavy. They're stunting on the weak side, so it's kind of the way they play, and they have honestly some pretty good individual defenders as a group together too. So it makes it easier to execute those coverages.
I think Rick was just talking about just defensive intensity needed to be better, especially in the second and the fourth. I mean, what did you, see slip in that case? I mean, it seemed like obviously you individually were fighting, had a tough, defensive assignment all night, but I guess on a collective level, what did you kind of feel like?
Maybe I think rebounding was a problem for us throughout the game. A lot of long rebounds, gave them second chances when we had some solid defensive possessions. Yeah, it was tough. We fouled. It's tough guarding DeRozan not fouling, but we fouled maybe a little bit too much. So yeah, maybe if we could have been just a little more focused on that part of the game, but it's tough sometimes.
Just to go further than that, how do you feel like you did on that assignment? It seemed like obviously like you did, you made his life difficult. At least it seemed like
I thought I did a solid job. I think you gotta be physical. I think I was pretty physical with him. Tried to not foul. I didn't have too many fouls on him. It's a tough check. I thought I did a solid job.